Last month was Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. In light of this, we attended the Active Minds flag ceremony, in which they planted 1,100 flags across campus, one flag for each student who died by suicide each year.
Suicide is a huge issue, and a lot of individuals avoid talking about it, don't feel safe talking about it, and really hope that this display will help create some awareness, some prevention, and a dialogue where people are more open to discussing any concerns that they may have about themselves, others, roommates, friends, to get them the help that they need. So the event started in 2013 here on Kirkwood's campus. Active Minds is a national organization, and they actually do send silence packing and travel across the country with backpacks. But since we can't get them to come here every year, we do the 1,100 flags and do white flags that represent the approximate number of college students who die by suicide every year. There is help available. We have free and confidential counseling here on Kirkwood's campus, and there's a lot of community resources too. We have Foundation 2 here with their 24-hour crisis line that students can access, and so we want people to know that help is available. If they're suffering, struggling, there's a way to get help.
We give our thanks to Active Minds for their support and effort. Counseling services are available at 108 Iowa Hall. One service on campus for those struggling with mental health involves a big fluffy friend. KSP interviewed Alyssa King and her service dog named Shade.
So I started bringing Shade when he was about maybe 11 weeks old. I initially wanted to do it as a service to the college, another resource for students and faculty and staff. And my schedule, teaching sociology courses really is a nice schedule for a puppy because he was just a little dude at that point. It was nice to get him out. It was, he got a lot of great socialization early on. But really my intention behind asking if I could start training him as a therapy dog was to have another resource for the college. It's been a really great kind of experiment this past year. Shade is 16 months old, so he's been coming for a full school year. And just to see, even if we're walking down the hall, people might not have met him before, but you see faces light up. Sometimes I'll have staff will contact me and say maybe there's a student in distress that could really use some time with Shade. So if we're available, we go and do that. Test anxiety, we get called into a lot of different classes and programs before exams to help with that. And even my own students really appreciate having him in the classroom. We go to the library around midterm and also finals, and they enjoy, petting him and spending time with him. I didn't know what I was going to see. I mean, I knew I had done some research on the benefits of having a therapy dog on campus. You're seeing more and more colleges that have them. I mean, the benefits are enormous, and so I was just hoping for that, but I also didn't know I didn't know I was going to get as positive a reaction as he's kind of a celebrity around here. Lots of hugs. Some students will run down the hall and just throw their arms around him. I have students in my own classes that'll sit on the floor with him during class, and that's totally fine with me, and he enjoys that. Yeah, he just gets excited. He recognizes certain people that have spent a lot of time with him, and so his tail will start wagging. I think it's the response to him knowing that I trained him, so I worked really hard to make him, behave in the way that he does. But he's also just like a cool dog, I think you need to do your research about a couple things. The breed of dog that you have, how you're going to train it to meet the criteria, because we had to go through a certification process, and you can't certify a therapy dog till they're a year old. So I started with a puppy because I thought that would make the most sense. They're wonderful to have, and I think it's also important to be clear with people what he is and what he isn't. He's not an emotional support dog. He's not a service dog, and there's definitely a distinction between those three types of animals.
If you ever see Shade in the hallway, feel free to stop by and say hi. Thank you for joining us in our special edition of KSP. Remember, if you're struggling with mental health, there are ways to receive help here on campus. With KSP News, I'm Luis Perez. See you next time.